Hello and welcome to It's Probably Coding. We're going to use Matplotlib today. We're going to use a library that makes fancy charts. And if this is your first ever chart, we are using codewithmu, so codewith.mu, which is a very simple looking IDE. I love this thing. It looks super bubbly and fun, but it also allows you to import and install libraries. So if you go to third-party packages here, let me try that again. So if you go all the way down to this cog on the bottom right, and you click that, it'll open up this menu here. Click on third-party packages, and inside there, type Matplotlib. You're going to want to click the OK button, and it's going to install. It's going to install this package for you right in codewithmu, which is fantastic. Just don't click out of it until it says finished at the bottom. After it says finished, you're ready to go. Follow along. We're going to create our first chart in Matplotlib by allowing us to get a user's input for a few things. So let's start. Let's input our package here. This is after you installed this package. And the matplot library here, we're going to use the pyplot tool because it looks super fancy as PLT. So every time we want to call upon this in our code, we don't have to type all that. We just have to type this. So now let's get print, and we're going to say weekly tracker plotter. There we go. And we're going to get day 1, which is going to be a user's input. So input, enter hours for Monday. Okay, I'm going to put a colon and a space there. And then I'm going to do the same thing, copy, paste, and paste. Let's make this day 2, and let's make this day 3. Enter hours for Tuesday, and enter hours for Wednesday. Cool. So we have the user putting in data for each of those days. Now we're going to do a little bit of data cleaning. I don't think we need to, but Monday hours equals a float in case they put a decimal value. So it's going to save as an integer, but let's change it to a float. So day 1 dot strip. So let's get rid of the extra stuff in there. And we're going to do Tuesday hours and Wednesday hours the same. So Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is day 3 Wednesday, and day 2 is Tuesday. So we're changing all of them to floats just because we get those decimal values. Now we want to create, let's say, create the lists. So we want to get days. Let's do days is going to be our list. And I got to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Cool. So we have our list of days and hours. So now we need our list of hours. So let's call it Monday hours. Tuesday hours. I can just copy and paste. And that's a comma there. And Wednesday hours, copy and paste. So now we have our list of all the hours and the days. So now we get to generate our graph. Make our graph. Are you guys ready? We're making our graph. So let me just put a bunch of spaces here so you guys can see better. So the first thing we need to do when creating our graph is we want to call upon Matplotlib, which we saved as PLT, so we don't have to type all that fancy stuff. And we type in plot. Now, I made this earlier, so I'm just going to copy and paste and explain what this is. You can type this all in. So we have days list, our hours list, which are all these things we made up here. We have our marker. We're going to make the line blue, and we're going to make the width of the line 2. So I feel that looks the fanciest. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the title of the chart my weekly hours. I don't know, we'll call it my weekly hours. I can't type today, guys, sorry. And then plot x label is going to be the x label. So the bottom is going to be days of the week. And then the y label which is the label that goes upwards, is going to be the hours spent. We'll say hours spent. So we have our labels. This is that. Let's do plot. Let's do grid. That's true. Okay, perfect. So you can just copy and paste this. This is essentially all the information you need to make that graph, and then print will tell the user making your graph now, ... And then we're going to show the plot. So plt.show, that shows the plot. So here's the plot. There it is. And now let's show it. So I'm going to click on run here and see what happens. So we get an error making your graph now. Did I forget a quote? Yeah, I forgot a quote there. Okay, run. So weekly plotter. Enter your hours for Monday. I'll put 5. Tuesday, I'll put 8. And let's say I worked 3 hours on Wednesday. I'm going to press enter. And what it's going to do is going to say, making your graph now. And look at that. It actually added a pop-up line graph of exactly what we made. Now I'm going to scroll this down so we can look at the plot creation process here. And let's open up my plot. So here we have the days. So we're using days and hours for this information. So that's the data we're using. The color is blue and the line width is 2. So that's here. If you change the color to red, so we change the color to red and we made the line width 5, you'll see how absolutely different it looks. 3, 8, and 5. You'll see how absolutely different the line graph looks. So we named my weekly hours as the title. So you'll see right up here, the title goes up there. And then the X label days of the week and the Y label hours spent. So this is just the information that you're putting in to label your graph. And that's it. And it showed your graph. In Jupyter Notebooks, we have a bunch of code blocks and we can make one graph per code block. So depending on what kind of data you're working with, you're going to want different graphs. Like you're going to want a pie chart and you're going to want like a bar graph to show different data. Sometimes you're dealing with time. So like you're going to want to track the time, or you're going to want different types of bars for different data. This is a very simple chart. And in future videos, we're going to be making different types of graphs to show you what type of data is best shown with what type of graph. Anyway, congratulations. If this is your first chart you've ever made in Python, I congratulate you. This is just the opening of the can of worms with all the things that you can do. I'll see you guys in a future video. Leave a like and subscribe. See ya.